You solved the box. We came. Now you must come with us.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most brutal deaths in paranormal movies. For this list, we'll be looking at the most shocking and grisly deaths in movies dealing with the supernatural. Which of these surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10, Keith Jennings, The Omen. In this classic supernatural horror film, Gregory Peck stars as Robert Thorne, a man who suspects that his adopted son may be the Antichrist.
For only if he is within you can you defeat the son of the devil.
I see.
He's killed once, he'll kill again. He'll kill until everything that's yours is his.
This suspicion is spurred by photographer Keith Jennings, who begins to investigate the child's origins with Robert. From meddling in the Antichrist's affairs, Keith meets a particularly grisly end.
And if you don't do it, I will.
His death seems to come straight out of Final Destination as a truck rolls down a hill and a pane of glass flies off to decapitate him. We see everything in explicit detail, and it does not make for a pretty sight. Number 9. Dennis, Paranormal Activity 3. The third installment in the Paranormal Activity franchise is actually a prequel, taking place in 1988, 18 years before the events of the other films.
You know, I don't remember these at all.
You guys didn't go beta, huh?
It follows sisters Katie and Christy, who has a not-so-imaginary friend named Toby. Their mother's boyfriend, Dennis, meets a nasty end at Toby's demonic hands.
If you saw me talking to somebody, it'll be Toby.
Toby's your friend?
Yes.
As Dennis desperately crawls away to escape, Toby attacks and bends his back at a painfully unnatural angle. The bending snaps his spine like a twig, and the accompanying crunching sound is absolutely horrific. Death by back-breaking demon is not how we would want to go. Number 8, The Caretaker, Phantasm. Don Coscarelli's science fantasy horror film enjoys cult classic status thanks to its surreal, dreamlike atmosphere.
The funeral is about to begin, sir.
Okay.
One particularly memorable scene involves a silver sphere, a caretaker, and lots of blood. The caretaker grabs Mike, who is trespassing at the mausoleum. However, a silver sphere impales itself into the caretaker's face and graphically drills into his head, spurting blood through a hole in the back. None of these visuals make a lot of sense, but that's where the magic of Phantasm lies. You can't be sure what's going on, which is what makes it so creepy.
Well, I just don't get off on funerals, man. They give me the creeps.
Number 7, Philip Anderson, A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. Typically regarded as the best Nightmare on Elm Street sequel, Dream Warriors has a fun premise and some truly gnarly death scenes.
Well, according to our kind hosts, our dreams are a group psychosis, sort of a mellow mass hysteria.
Grossest and most nightmarish of them all is Philip's. Playing the role of puppeteer, he turns Philip into a human puppet in one of the most grotesque manners imaginable.
Fella, wake up.
In agony, Philip is forced to walk to a rooftop and jump off to his death. It's a horrific scenario, but that's what makes it one of the most memorable death scenes in the entire franchise.
Please, I can't handle the nightmare. Not after Philip.
Number 6, Kaylee Russell, Oculus. A great little horror movie from writer-director Mike Flanagan. Oculus stars Karen Gillan as Kaylee Russell and involves a supernatural mirror.
Hello again.
Kaylee hopes to prove its paranormal power, but in order to ensure her safety, she installs a kill switch in the form of an anchor that will drop from the ceiling and shatter the mirror.
What's that?
Yacht anchor. Kill switch. So, I understand if you don't want to stay. I accept that, but I gotta get started.
In the horrifying climax of the film, Kaylee's brother Tim activates the kill switch, unaware that Kaylee is standing directly in its path. The anchor impales Kaylee's upper back, and she groans in pain for a few seconds before dying. It's an absolutely brutal way to go, and to make matters even worse, Tim is taken away to jail for her death. Not a happy ending indeed.
Yeah, he called 911. And then he did this.
Number 5, The Lawnmower Death, Sinister. There are jump scares, and then there's the infamous lawnmower scene from Sinister.
Does she know whose house this was? Oh, man.
Writer Ellison Oswalt discovers disturbing home movies in the attic of his new house. These movies depict the grisly deaths of various people at the hands of the unseen camera operator. In what is arguably the most disturbing home movie, the operator can be seen rolling a lawnmower. We are unable to see ahead as the only source of light is emanating from the camera, and it's focused solely on the mower. The person's head then suddenly comes into view, accompanied by a bone-chilling scream. We don't see the messy results, but we don't need to. That sight alone was effective enough. Number 4, the ship passengers, Ghost Ship. Some opening scenes are so killer that they overshadow the rest of the movie. The opening to Ghost Ship is one such scene.
Last month, I was out in the middle of the strait when I came across this.
Congratulations. You found a boat in the middle of the ocean, of all places.
The movie begins aboard an extravagant ocean liner in 1962. The well-dressed passengers are dancing to a lovely tune while pink cursive credits seem to promise a romantic period drama. It's all meant to give an intentionally false impression of what's to come. The hand of an unseen man manipulates a wire cord that snaps under the pressure, sending it whirling through the dance floor. The aftermath is nauseatingly goopy as the passengers react with shock before falling to the deck, bisected. Number 3, Annie, Hereditary. Ari Aster's psychological horror film contains several brutal deaths. Early in the movie, young Charlie dies after her head hits a telephone pole at high speed. Her mother Annie also meets a terrifying end after she's possessed by King Payment. After chasing her son Peter into the attic, Annie levitates off the ground and takes her own life with a piece of piano wire. The visual effects are astonishing, but even better is Toni Collette's performance. Annie glares at Peter while taking her own life, her eyes unspeakably scary. We don't see the aftermath, but we hear it, and the whole thing comes together to create an unforgettable death sequence that will haunt our nightmares for years. Number 2, Olga Ivanova, Suspiria. While not a direct remake of Dario Argento's Italian classic, Suspiria takes major inspiration from the film.
I imagine you will need to return home to settle things and make arrangements for moving to Berlin.
No, I can start right now.
It concerns a German dance academy that is steeped in mystery, violence, and witchcraft. In the movie's nastiest sequence, protagonist Susie Banyan inflicts injuries on Olga Ivanova remotely with her dance movements.
Frau Marx, Musik bitte.
Olga's body flies through the air, slams into walls, and contorts in bone-shattering angles. When the dance is finally completed, Olga's body is a nightmarish tangle of limbs and bones. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Frank Cotton, Hellraiser. Hedonist Frank Cotton suffers 2 grisly deaths in Clive Barker's horror masterpiece, Hellraiser.
Who are you?
I'm Frank. I'm Brother Frank.
Oh, yes.
I came for the wedding.
The first sees him torn apart by chains, but mostly occurs off screen. The second follows a similar theme, but viewers are subjected to the spectacle in all its gruesome detail.
He escaped you!
Nobody escapes us.
He did! I've seen him! He's alive!
Supposing he had escaped us, what has that to do with you?
After his first death, Cotton is revived, escaping the Cenobites, extra-dimensional beings who experience pain as pleasure. Even though he changes skin, taking over his brothers, the Cenobites catch him and use chains to tear him apart all over again. The practical effects are magnificent, but they are certainly not for the faint of heart.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.